Imagine for a moment a bustling coffee shop on a Monday morning. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee fills the air, and the soft hum of conversation surrounds you. Every table is occupied, every seat claimed. But among the chatter, there's a haunting undercurrent, a disparity that few dare to confront. Now picture this. At one table sits a group of young professionals, their conversations dominated by weekend escapades and the latest technology trends. At another table, an individual, perhaps in their late 40s, sits alone, absorbed in a book titled Rich Dad, Poor Dad. While one group is engrossed in momentary pleasure, this lone figure wields knowledge, an invisible armor in a world where financial literacy remains a privilege too few pursue. This contrast exemplifies something powerful. Wealth isn't merely inherited, it's cultivated through a tenacious mindset. Those who broke free from the constraints of financial struggle understood the core principles that elude many: financial education and a disciplined approach to saving and investing. According to renowned researchers Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko, over 80% of millionaires are self-made. Shocking, isn't it? They didn't inherit fortunes, they built them. And how? By living frugally, investing prudently, and prioritizing long-term goals over fleeting desires. But therein lies the tension. Many of us are raised to believe in the allure of immediate gratification, flashy cars, lavish vacations, and luxury items, all tempting distractions that draw us away from disciplined financial habits. Yet, as Kiyosaki explains, understanding the difference between assets and liabilities transforms your financial landscape. This payoff is profound. If we can just shift our mindset, prioritizing financial literacy, continuous learning, and seeking mentorship, we could rewrite our financial destiny. Imagine waking up each day not bound by debt or the drudgery of living paycheck to paycheck, but with the empowerment of having the knowledge to create wealth wherever you stand. Entrepreneurs often stride in an enticing world of business with dreams bigger than their bank accounts. But what if I told you that genuine wealth isn't just about frugal savings or disciplined budgeting? What if instead it lies in embracing an emotionally charged concept: debt? Yes, I said debt. Consider the journey of Elon Musk. A name now synonymous with innovation, Musk once faced moments where debt loomed larger than opportunity. Yet instead of shying away from it, he wielded it like a double-edged sword. He used personal loans to fund his early investments in Tesla and SpaceX, transforming what many viewed as a financial liability into rocket fuel for his ambitions. Musk understood that borrowed capital, when managed properly, could yield high rewards. Yet this approach raises eyebrows. Isn't debt inherently dangerous? Shouldn't we all aspire to live debt-free lives? Herein lies the tension that many feel. What's generally accepted as prudent financial practice often squares off against the unorthodox strategies employed by elite entrepreneurs. The frustration builds when we see them thriving, while the average person cripples under student loans or credit card balances. This is where the teachings of Robert Kiyosaki come into play, articulating a philosophy that forces us to rethink our relationship with debt. He teaches about good debt, debt that fuels your growth rather than anchors you in quicksand. Imagine using a mortgage, not merely as a burden, but as a stepping stone to owning appreciating real estate, enriching your financial portfolio over time. The emotional payoff is profound. If there's wisdom in embracing disciplined debt management, it could mean the difference between stagnation and soaring success. It's as if a door, so long locked, suddenly swings open, revealing a world where ambition and financial acumen dance a powerful waltz of opportunity. It's a revelation that can provoke anger at the misconceptions that hold many back from the wealth they could create. Are you ready to challenge the norm? In this unpredictable landscape, understanding how to leverage debt rather than running from it might just be the secret that separates the wealthy from the weary. Your journey begins now. In the shadows of bright city lights and hopeful aspirations, a silent epidemic brews, one that grips the hearts of millions, eroding dreams and cementing despair. A 2021 survey by the American Payroll Association revealed that a staggering 74% of American workers find themselves trapped in the relentless cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. This isn't just a statistic, It's a daily reality for countless families who trek to their jobs each morning, burdened by the weight of rising living costs and stagnant wages. Picture Emma, a dedicated mother of two, waking up before dawn to prepare breakfast and pack lunches. Despite her tireless efforts, she often finds the ends of her paycheck never quite meeting, always flapping in the wind, out of reach. When the unexpected strikes, a broken washing machine, a child's urgent medical need, her heart sinks, knowing that nearly 40% of her fellow Americans, just like her, wouldn't have the means to cover a $400 emergency expense without borrowing or scrambling to sell something of value. But Emma's story doesn't stop here. Amidst the pandemic's chaos, the wealth gap widened like a chasm. According to a 2020 study by the Institute for Policy Studies, as the top 1% saw their fortunes rise, families like Emma's fell deeper into financial struggle. Evictions loomed, bills piled up, credit cards became lifelines, but they also bound them to crushing cycles of debt. As the clock ticks, one question hangs in the air. What can be done? It's a haunting realization for many that the goal of building wealth can feel more challenging than ever. A mirage retreating further into the horizon. And yet, in this murky milieu, hope flickers dimly. Stories of resilience emerge. Individuals who refuse to settle for stagnation, who dare to uncover the secrets that the wealthy discreetly guard. This moment demands our attention. Inflation and economic disparities need to ignite not just frustration, but action. The question isn't just how do we survive, it's how do we thrive. Together we can unearth the wealth-building secrets that can transform not just Emma's destiny, but millions like her. In a world where the scale of wealth seems to tilt ever more dramatically, the numbers tell a story that is nothing short of shocking. The Economic Policy Institute illuminated a startling fact in 2020. The average CEO of a major U.S. company earned 299 times more than the average worker. Imagine the repercussions of that disparity. It wasn't always this way. In 1965, the difference was a mere 20-1. This spiraling pay gap can be traced back to a series of seemingly innocuous changes. Performance-based pay became the norm. Stock options morphed into cornerstones of compensation packages. The once formidable labor unions dwindled in strength, and minimum wage policies failed to keep pace with inflation. But here's the kicker. Studies reveal that this staggering compensation gap doesn't correlate with company performance. It isn't about honing skills or business acumen. It's about leveraging influence and wielding power. The Harvard Business Review uncovered that CEO pay correlates more closely with the sheer size of a company rather than its actual profitability. So why the uproar? Why isn't this headline news? Why do we accept a system that seems rigged against the very backbone of our economy? The workers? This enticing prompt, one that stirs frustration and anger, forces us to reckon with an unsettling truth. The rich aren't just getting richer. They're positioned atop a structural hierarchy that seems to benefit only themselves. This isn't just a distant statistic, it's a clarion call. As we sit in silence, reflecting on these disquieting truths, the answer lies before us. It's time to delve into this narrative, to unearth the hidden dynamics of wealth and power. The road to change begins with knowledge, and knowledge, as they say, is power.